Welcome back to Good News Only. This is the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift and inspire us all. Every weekday at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community, and the local wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, a personal victory, a community success, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25 at week.com and be sure to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. As always, today's show is full of good news. For starters, I'm going to go see Tay at the end of the month. I think I told you about this before. I'm going to go visit her when I dropped her off to school for after Christmas for this spring semester. She said, Mama, make sure you come see me at least one time. It's a long time between now and summer. And that's when I knew, although she pretends as if I work her nerves, she loves her mama and she misses her mama. So last night, I was talking to her, and she said, "Just make sure you." I said, she's trying to work through. I think I've told you she's just trying to work through what adult life looks for her, career wise, and all the other stuff coming up. Just making decisions at this age, at this time in her life. This is where she is. If you have a kid who has gone through this season of life, she's gonna be 20 this year. Cannot believe that. Um, but this season of life, whether they've been in college or not, but just making decisions, send me an email to news25 at week.com and let me know what was the most helpful piece of advice you gave them if you have ever been a kid in this portion, transitional portion of your life, as Tay is. Let me know what was the best piece of advice you ever received. News25week.com. I need to know because I'm just kind of like, I hope I'm telling her all the right things. Because sometimes you can tell people what you think you would want to be told or what you've been told, and they're not you, especially your kids. They're just not you. And so they may need something a little different. So I would love just a little bit of advice from her uncles and aunts out there in Good News Only land. But yeah, so I told her I was going to come visit her, made plans. I'm also going for birthday dinner to Kansas City where she is, and I said, well, what do you need from me? What can I bring you? She's just come see me. Just come see me when you're in town. I'm like, of course, I'm coming straight to you. I said, do you want me to bring anything special that's going to help you feel better? And she's like, nope, just things that I love. And I thought, okay, she misses her mom a lot. I don't know why she acts as if she's been held hostage there. I think she probably kind of feels that way. But yes, I'm. That's good news. I can't wait to see her and bring back pictures and tell you all about how she is doing. She is looking forward to summertime and coming back and being a guest on the show. She really enjoyed talking with all of you and having that opportunity when she did back over the winter break. Anyway, there's more good news only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. So, I love it when people come together just with a pure heart to make a thing happen, right, for somebody else. I love a good, thoughtful gift or project. And this is exactly what a group of dads did for a sweet, beloved crossing guard in North Texas. She is getting a big surprise from her community. Her name is Trisha Crawford, and she's been a daily fixture helping students cross safely at Moss Haven Elementary. But when her car broke down, she had to rely on ride shares. And she says when money ran out for the ride shares, she went to buses just to get back and forth to work. Members of the school's Dad's Club stepped in after hearing about her situation. They said they saw her every day before and after school helping their very own children cross the street safely, and they just could not sit back and not do anything to help her with transportation to be able to continue to do so. In just a couple of days, they raised thousands of dollars. The dad surprised Crawford with a white Jeep so that she can get to work reliably again. I just love this story. They're even helping cover her insurance and a few oil changes to keep her safely on the road. And she was so outdone by this act of kindness. She was so grateful to those fathers and this family. You can tell, or these families, you can tell they genuinely love this woman for keeping their children safe. They said she's always warm, she's always welcoming, she's always very kind, whether it's a fist bump or a physical hug with their kids. She has, a set group of rules that she has the kids follow in terms of just how to get back and forth across the street safely, and all the kids know them by heart. They sing a little song, and the kids themselves absolutely adore this lady. So I just love what these fathers have done for this woman. Great job to them, and congratulations to Miss Crawford. Speaking of drivers and cars, so a man has decided to commute in a custom go kart. That is so cute. You may have seen this on social media. I had not. So I was surprised to see that this is going viral. One Atlanta man has found a creative way to deal with the rising gas prices. So he built a custom go kart using a small engine from a power washer and a plastic toy car base. We'll have more on this story after the break. Welcome back to More Good News Only. Now, more on that story about that man who found a creative way to save on the gas prices. So, again, he customized a go kart using a small engine from a power washer and a plastic toy car base. And this was that toy car base here. You can see the homemade ride cost just about $2 to fill up. And he says that can last all day long. Can you imagine? I remember the days when like a full tank of gas cost $10. I remember those days. But this trumps that at just two. So $10 or $2 for a whole day of moving about town. I think that's really cool. He says, so these videos of the unusual vehicle have gone viral on social media. And while he enjoys the savings, he says he hopes gas prices eventually drop for families who are feeling the squeeze. And that looks like so much fun. I remember being a passenger, of course, in go karts when I was a little kid. My uncle always had some sort of motor vehicle that he would put together and then come by and take all of us kids for rides on. And this just reminds me of that. That is so cool. I hope he is having the time of his life in that thing. He looks like it. And so, speaking of kids, there are a group of middle schoolers who have formed a crochet club at one North Dakota middle school. Classic Hobby is making a big comeback. Students at Watcher Middle School recently launched a crochet club, and it's far more popular than expected. So organizers thought about 5 students might show up, but more than 30 students attended the first meeting. I remember we had something like this similar in middle school that one of our teachers just impromptu was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And then when I worked at preschool years ago, the kindergarten teacher, Miss Stacy, did this exact same thing like she had for all of the big kids. She had a crochet club, and the kids really like it. They really both situations. I found the kids really liked it. Now, I was cool with it, but again, you all know me. You're not new here. You know my patience to learn how to sit and actually do it. Once I get that long of a rope, I'm like, okay, what's next? So I don't know that I could actually sit long enough to make something useful. But I love that these kids showed up. 30 students attended, and they were only expecting 5. Nearly half the members are boys, which is awesome, breaking the stereotypes about who enjoys this craft. That is absolutely awesome. Students say the crocheting helps them relax, focus. And I was going to say that I feel like probably the boys really get some sort of therapeutic. I mean, I'm not saying the girls don't, we know that. But I'm not surprised that the boys like it because I'm sure it gives them some sort of therapeutic elements where they can just kind of like calm down and relax. But they enjoy it for that very reason. And they say that it helps them spend less time on their phones. Way to go to them for actually seeking out activities that aid them in spending less time on their phones. Teachers say the club is also helping students build friendships and confidence. I'm sure it is. There's a common interest there, and they're learning a skill. I think that's absolutely awesome. Congratulations to those kids. This is a skill they'll never forget. They can always knit their own scarves or crochet their own scarves. They can always crochet blankets. I mean, they'll always be able to do it. Kind of like in home ec. Do they still have home ec in schools? That looks like a home ec class with the washer and dryer back there. I wonder if they still have home ec in schools. Remember in home ec when you used to make the pillow? I can still make a mean pillow from home ec class. I can still make a mean pillow and follow a recipe. My mama taught me that. But home ec taught you how to follow the recipe in a way. Like, in my family, we have recipes, but you really kind of guesstimate. Some of our traditional dishes and family recipes, you don't need recipes. It's just in you, right? You just know what it looks like. You can eyeball it, if that makes sense. But in home ec, they were like, oh no, you've got to get the measuring cups out, spoons. You better know how to do it. And baking at home is when my mom really drove home, the measuring spoons and cups and stuff like that. But mostly our family following recipes. We just kind of do it to taste, and we just kind of, you do it till you feel it in your soul. Um, I wonder if it is a good idea because all the food turned out good. But yeah, so I wonder if there's still home ec in schools today. I know my daughter used to always want to do home ec. I think they call it like FACS or something now, if there still is. I don't think it's available though in all schools, but that was a pretty good time. So congratulations on those kids to those kids. Great job for finding something else to do besides sit on their phones. And so there's a World War II bowling league at a senior center. It's at a retirement community in Tulsa, to be exact. It's a video game. And this, or at this retirement center, a video game is bringing residents together. So seniors at University Village have formed competitive teams playing the World War II bowling. That's very interesting. The group practices twice a week and even compete in a citywide league each year. They also join a national senior competition with teams from across the country. Residents say the game helps build friendships and it keeps everybody active and engaged. Staff say group activities like this are very vital for social connection and healthy aging. Another story where people are in community and doing something that helps them learn a skill. Is that a Wii? It looks like a Wii. I remember a Wii and Dance Dance Revolution. That was a time. Um, and it looks like they are having a great time at what they are doing as well. And so this is a show full of games today. There's a women's hockey league, and we are meeting their president. So in Minnesota, women's hockey is thriving, and one player is helping lead the charge. Her name is Beth Chaplin, and she serves as president of the Women's Hockey Association of Minnesota, the world's largest amateur women's league. She actually started playing the sport unexpectedly after years as a soccer goalie. Now she balances time on the ice with organizing tournaments and league events. The association brings together players of all ages for competition and friendship. Chaplin says the goal is simple: to keep the game fun and make sure everyone feels welcome to play. What a great way to spend an afternoon. Now, I don't know. Oof, look at all that gear, but she's made for it. She is made for it. You can tell she loves every single thing about it. I just always am so leery of like what falling on the ice. I hate falling. And then don't they fight in hockey? Or does that like all, or does it happen in the women's leagues? Or is that just something that is optional? Like maybe you don't have to fight. Either way, she's built for the whole thing. That's so awesome. And before when we come back from break, I want to tell you, are we taking a break yet? Let me see if we're taking a break yet. Maybe we're not taking a break yet. See if we have time to squeeze in this. Yeah, we have time to squeeze in another story. So look at this. So these robots, they are playing soccer. In Germany, the future of sports might include robots. Teams from more than 50 countries gathered for the Robo Cup. Reminds me of RoboCop. Remember that movie? The world's largest competition for intelligent robots. One highlight is robot soccer, where machines pass, defend, and score goals. So, engineers and researchers use the competition to test advances in artificial intelligence and robotics. Organizers say the event helps push innovation that could eventually benefit many industries. They look so heavy. I wonder how heavy they are. But they look so heavy. That's so cool. Every single day with AI and robotics brings me closer and closer to the reality that we are living in the real world Jetsons. Remember that cartoon? Was the maid who was the robot, was her name Alice? Like it feels like we are living that reality, and her body was boxy like that. It feels like we're living that reality more and more each day. Well, more good news only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. Well, national park visitors surged in 2025. So, the National Park Service reports more than 320 million visits in 2025. That is a lot. Great Smoky Mountains National Park topped the list for attendance. Other popular destinations included Zion, Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, and Yosemite. Even with a 43-day government shutdown last year, most parks stayed open to visitors, and park officials say the numbers show just how much people value spending time outdoors. I am looking forward to doing some of that myself this spring and summer. I really, sorry about that. I really hope to be able to get outside and get some fresh air and move around, exercise, get some good oxygen flowing. And state parks are a good thing now. I'm not going to the state park. I'm not going to any park. Maybe a school playground, but I'm not going to go to any park where there might be animals, particularly the reptiles that start with an S. Not doing it. No more. But I will be outside in some capacity, and I hope to see you there. Well, that's a wrap for me today. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at week.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. In the meantime, be sure to check out the evening newscast and meet me back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. I'm LaShawna Guy for 25 News. Have a wonderful day.